See you all. So I have, I need to read this poem. I'm sure you've all heard it before, but it's an important thing to say again, especially tomorrow being solstice. 'Twas the night before New Thought, and my house of cards was falling around me, my life painful shards. My life was a mess, my thoughts full of dread, while hope for a miracle danced in my head. The edges were tattered on my thinking cap as I settled my brain for a long winter's nap. My thoughts were not peaceful. They made such a clatter. I dreamed of transforming my thoughts into matter. I fell and I fell to the deepest of sleep. My heart and my mind took a big quantum leap, when what to my wondering mind should appear? A new thought of selfhood, an end to my fear. A glimmering spark of divinity shone. I knew in an instant it must be my own. On light, on love, on life and on power, on peace, on beauty, poured joy like a shower. I sprang from my bed just like Lazarus did and woke up renewed like a curious kid. A fluttering within like wings of a dove, my heart was ablaze with a glorious love. I spoke not a word, but I knew what I know and let my light shine and then felt it grow. It was bigger than anything I'd ever seen. I wondered in awe, what did it all mean? My thoughts were all rosy, my worries adrift, a feeling of oneness, a huge conscious shift. I sprang to my life, my thinking was new, and away my intentions on blessed wings flew. And now I declare in intuitive sight, I live in the moment. Goodbye, my dark night. Isn't that cool? So that I give credit, Reverend Scott DeMarco wrote this, who knows when, but I've, printed it out and saved it for forever. So our talk topic today is, Am I the Light? And we talk about the light, and we just finished Hanukkah, which is the lighting of the lights. And we wish we had more light because, it's really dark out there. It's particularly dark today. And what we realize in this teaching, especially when we get deeper into it and more of a study of the work, we have one of the leaders in explaining New Thought, Judge Thomas Troward, who defined light as the presence of something, light, and darkness is the absence of the light. It's not the presence of darkness. It's the absence of light. And so what we see in this festival of lights, this day of light, this desire for light, is a desire to see the presence of something good, something that helps us see, and not be blinded by the darkness of what we do not see. Light is a divine quality of God. We talk about many, many qualities of the divine, and as you contemplate any of these qualities, a good question to ask yourself is how much of that quality do I really embody, believe in, be, express? We like to think of life. I mean, I'm big on the vitality of the living life and being this life, fully living this life, and love, to know more love, so, to experience that love circulating in me. And I do a lot of contemplation with peace, to know the peace that passeth all human understanding and figuring out, that peace that knows that all is well, the peace of the divine. So life, love, peace, these qualities I spend a lot of time with. But we also have harmony. I know early in this teaching, when I first came into it, I had to do a lot of work around harmony because it wasn't anywhere in my world. I wanted to embody more of it. But we also have other qualities. Power. Dr. Robert Bitzer said that he meditated upon power all the time. And he began that contemplation saying, I am power. What does that mean? You know, the mind tries to figure out what it means, but when we're contemplating divine qualities, the human intellect cannot figure out something that's created that intellect and what the thoughts that we're thinking, something that we access it through our mind, right? But we can't get there through figuring it out. We have to receive it. We do our figuring out. That's one of the reasons why we like studying the science of mind, right? We go as far as we can with our intellectual understanding. But then when we're talking about a divine quality, to say, I am power, and not mean I'm in charge of everything. You know, I have control over everybody. Human definitions of power, but to know I am power. What does that mean? What does that mean? Should you say it? And so he would meditate on that. I am power. And he said that as he meditated on it, he would drop the word am. So he would be saying after a while, I, power. And then finally, just power. So we have life, love, power, peace, beauty. We have artists who contemplate beauty every waking and probably sleeping moment. And we see the work that they do. Well, it stops us in our tracks. We cannot explain it, but we can see it. There's moments when you can see that beauty in anything, and it just moves you to tears. And of course, joy. We all want joy, but that divine quality of joy, knowing I am the cause of my own experience, that divine joy is something that's always present in us. So it's not whether we're feeling happy or glad or excited or delirious. It's not that human personality emotion. Joy is as quiet and powerful as every other quality, and it's something far beyond our measly human expression and experience. So now, what about light? And Judge Thomas Troward gave it the definition that I've been working with ever since. The definition of divine light is the infinite possibilities yet to be. And that is what is needed this year. To be someone who can connect with light and see the infinite possibilities yet to be. That being, I think, who is embodying light and embracing light does not look at the darkness of what is. And is not depressed or concerned about it, is totally focused about bringing the infinite possibilities yet to be into this world. And we have seen what human beings have been able to do with a vision. I thought of John Kennedy, who had this vision, someone will walk on the moon in this decade. And everybody was like, oh, that's impossible, whatever. But it was done. It was done. And then this year, it's impossible to develop a vaccine in this short amount of time. And everybody's talking about it. But it was done, and it's done a lot, several of them. Because that vision of light is seeing something that is possible, maybe never experienced before, and yet it captures your imagination and your enthusiasm, and it gives you a reason for sticking around. right? What if I were to say, okay, get used to our experience this year, because that's it, folks. Adjust. I don't think you'd be happy. I don't know. We're giving masks for Christmas now, a Christmas present. So, and somebody shared here that they saw there's a mask with LED lights. So every time somebody's talking, all these lights go off. Please don't give it to me, right? So the thing is, we can't accept more of this darkness of what has been, because it's not in our nature to accept it, even if it was a wonderful year. Our nature contains light, and to live this life and all of those divine qualities within us requires us to be forward looking, consciously creating something new and bringing it into a reality in our experience. And it might be difficult to muster yourself into creating something new, but the light, Michael Beckwith coined a new term, glimmage, to have the glimmer of an image, a glimmage, it draws us forward. At this time, we have the story of the wise men. And, they were busy. And they saw a light in the distance, far away. They saw a glimmer of something that drew them. And they knew it was important, and they knew it was valuable. And they back then travel was as difficult as it is this year. That's a joke. And yet they made that effort to travel, to see what was drawing them, to realize, to be in that light, and whatever was there, they saw value in it, right? Because they brought gifts. They're called wise. Wisdom is that quality that's part of light, that is the wisdom to see the infinite possibilities yet to be, and the wisdom to know the way to get there. And so they took that path. And on their journey, they heard about Herod, who was out looking, to destroy what that light was bringing. And so what we want to realize is, these stories from the Bible represent our own journeys. And so the wise men in us is that divine wisdom, that divine presence that's guiding us into accepting something new. And then that Herod that is in us is like, no, don't go. Or, let's destroy that image, destroy that possibility yet to be, because it's going to take you out of your comfort zone. It's going to take you out of what you're used to. It's going to take you out of your usual habits. It's going to draw you forward. And the thing about these wise men is, after they made their journey and they gave their gifts, they went back a different way. They didn't go back the same way, because they didn't want to meet up with Herod and have to lie to him. So they returned a different way. And that's what happens to us when we see the infinite possibility yet to be and are drawn to it. And we can say, I don't know where I'm going, but I do know where I'm going. And I know it's going to be valuable and good when I get there. The journey, what lies ahead of me is worth the journey forward to it. And we can be enjoying the journey forward, because everything's going to be different. And realizing I will not be able to return to where I was before. That's the journey that we want right now. We've got it, like, symbolically with this whole 2020 experience so strong. Like, I don't want this. I don't want this. Although many of us in lacking the realization that light exists, that infinite possibilities exist, in not realizing that out of ignorance or innocence, we might be saying, I want things to be the way they used to be, right? You've heard that. You might have said, I want things back to normal. And what we want to realize is not just this year, but always we are drawn to something new that's never been seen before, that's never been existing before, but it will be better. It will be better. It'll be a surprise. It'll be wonderful. It'll shake us up. And it will make us unable to return to the way things were. And so 2020 was what it was, but what about 2019? Was that so great? In comparison to 2020, yeah, I'll take it. But no, 2021 is, I like, how bizarre is it? 2020 vision. We needed 2020 vision, to see with crystal clarity the possibilities yet to be. And so next year is 2020 plus one. It's that step forward. And so it will be better than 2019 and 2018 because we can't go back. We're being drawn forward to the light. That babe in the manger symbolizes something that's important, is for each of us, birthing or dwelling within us is that divinity within, that the qualities of life, light, love, power, peace, beauty, harmony, joy, these divine qualities are all within us. We're pregnant with them, we could say. Pregnant with them. Got someone in the room whose daughter's pregnant, right? That's what she's pregnant with. Life, light, love, power, peace, beauty, harmony, and joy. That's the only thing. And so do we give birth to it or not is our personal question. Do we give birth to these divine qualities and let them make an expression, enter our world? And yes, they will disrupt it, right? As every new parent knows. And you can't go back. You can't put the baby back in. It keeps growing. And so that's what we want. We want to realize that is that possibility of something new resides within each one of us. It's the divinity within us. It's the Christ potential within us. It exists within each one of us always. And when we embody or court or practice this divine quality of light, we realize that we can see it. We can live from it. Live from that divine presence that knows I am that I am, and is wholly involved with creating a whole wonderful new universe each and every moment. And we are made in the image and likeness of that presence, and realizing that that is our potential to be living from it and to end up being the light that you seek, so that we don't get this light that we're looking, or the love that we're looking, or the peace or the power or the beauty from the world and the conditions around us. And when we're new to a spiritual path, yeah, we think that's where we get all this good. But what we realize when we're along the spiritual path, that it comes from within, and that we are here to bring it out and to express it. We are here to express the divine qualities that exist within us, and no other reason. We're not here to get these divine qualities. They're already in us. We're here to shine the qualities that are within us, to shine the light. That's why we're here, to express, to create, to give that which we are. And when we forget it, which, happens, right, all the time, we're unhappy. We're miserable because the world does not deliver. Other people do not deliver. It's not their job to deliver your good to you. It's our job to live from the qualities of the divine that we have been given and to seek ways of expressing them more and more and more. And when we do that, we discover a whole different experience of living. We're not so worried about what's going on in the world. There's years ago, I interviewed people about successful leadership. And I interviewed someone who had been my boss for a number of years, but I had moved on to something else. And I went back to him. And, I asked him about success and how he experienced that success. And he did his best to explain to someone who didn't yet get it that he was just always occupied with making it work, going forward. He would start every morning with his list of things to do, but everything that was on this list is, I'll find a way, I'll do it. And if he had a dead end, he either thought about, is there a way around it? Or throw it out, move on, put something different on that list. His whole focus was on, what can I bring through? What can I create? And he was undisturbed. He was undisturbed by making mistakes. I made a colossal one once. When I realized the mistake I had made, I calculated the potential impact on our company, and it was over $40,000. At that time, that was my salary. I'm like, well, that's the end of me. Let's pack up my personal stuff and then tell that boss the good news and expect to be escorted out of there. Because that's the way, he handled the mistakes. Done. Anyway, so I told him, and he went, and he didn't see it as the dead end yet. Let's throw her out. He just picked up the phone and called the lawyers and got them working on it. And it turned out it never happened. It never, even though I made the mistake, it never cost the company a penny. But he fixed it. He saw, how can I make it work? Okay, that's her opinion. Let's get it. I'm not a lawyer. Let's get somebody else's opinion. Okay, fine. Whatever. And then he dumped it. He never held it against me. He didn't, deduct my pay raise the next time. He was thinking of the infinite possibilities yet to be. That's the definition of success. Someone who is thinking about bringing through the qualities that they have. We have one woman here in the room who really took the situation in the world and immediately thought, what can I bring to help? And as a result, I have all these wonderful masks that she handmade. And how many sewing machines? 4 sewing machines you went through? 7 now. Yes, I'm behind the times. Yes. But, she thought, what can I give? I have this talent. I can sew. I have all this material. I can make it. They need a mask. I know how to make it. She jumped in thinking, how can she give? And so your life was that much more livelier. You were very busy while everybody else, right, is stuck and bored and watching, how many. I know. And so, yes, she did donate more than she sold. Anyway, Margit, contact her if you're interested. She'll make you a mask. Oh, look at, she's going crazy. All right. So, what stands before us now? And I love that it's solstice, and we had Hanukkah, and we got this Christmas thing coming up, and the year end, and 2020, and all this stuff going on in the world, because it gives us that moment surrounded by all these twinkling lights to ask ourselves the question, am I the light? Am I the light in my own world? And you may or may not be lighting the way for others, That's other people's opinions, whether you are a light for them or not. Right? Have you ever had somebody try to hold the light for you while you're doing work, like under the sink? They don't hold it right, right? You're like, wait, not, hello, right? So it's not that I am the light for others. Am I the light in my own life? What is it that I have to give? And how can I bring it through? How can I give it? And to the highest spiritual start to this thinking process is to connect with these divine qualities. Am I love? And if I am, how can I bring it through in a greater way? Am I power? How can I be power in a greater way? Am I beauty? Am I joy? And as we claim it, we ourselves are the first beneficiaries. It stirs our hearts. As we say, I am the love, it lifts us up. We feel the love and then we express it, right? Who knows if anyone else gets it, but we express it. We're feeling and experiencing and embodying these qualities as we express them, but not before. I've been working, we had a couple of meetings with our practitioners and our practitioner interns in class, and I had this in my meditation in the morning a couple of weeks ago. I just had this realization that my body is healthy enough and fit enough to express as many of the divine qualities as I'm feeling like. And if I don't like how healthy my body is, if I think I need more health, then I need to be doing more with it so that the divine will create a fit body to express its qualities. So, you want to be healthier? You want to be happier? It's all from within, right? The Christ within, that divinity within, that infinite potential within, and being able to see, because it's there, the star, and to realize it's real and it's beckoning you. And then to have the willingness, the courage to go to it, knowing you'll never be able to return. That's what beckons us now. So solstice is tomorrow. Good. Will you light the light in that shortest day, in that shortest darkness? Will you light that light? After our service, we're going to have a little party, but we're going to light our lights. We have our candles, we're going to have the light, we're going to light our lights, and we're going to sing, I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. We say that with that symbol and that outer, but the real thing is to take some time and to realize there is a star out there shining in your future. It's there, but you have to look up. Are you going to look for it, and are you going to follow it? It's there. Don't tell me, I can't see the light. It's there. It's a divine quality in us. So let's take a moment right now and have some more music and ask ourselves that question about that light within. And when I come back, I'll do a spiritual mind treatment so that we all see that light. So let's do that.